All right, peace, peace, peace. Miss Moon. I'll be referring to you throughout this reading as Miss Moon. So, welcome to your reading. Today we will be breaking down your birth chart. You feel me? This will be the first part, out of the three parts. So, as I told you, the reading will be roughly around 3 hours. It may be like 2 hours and 45 minutes. 2 hours and 30 minutes even. There's a possibility, but practically it's 3 hours long. You feel me? This is the first session. So in this session, we're gonna look at your planets, you feel me, and where they're placed and where they're positioned. I will be telling you the decans which you have your planets in, you feel what I'm saying? And yeah, we'll also be looking at what the planets signify, what they mean, what the houses mean, and also what the signs which you have your planets within mean as well. And then we'll also go on to cover what's it call it? The aspects. Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? The aspects as well. All right, so let's begin. And then in the following sessions, we will be talking about which planet is the most prominent and which planet is the weakest. And then on the last session, we will be discussing the houses and the planets that rule the houses. You feel me? So the houses, they signify different departments of life. You feel what I'm saying? The 12th house ultimately signifies the unconscious mind, but it also deals with the spiritual world. It deals with disembodied beings, you feel me, spirits, ghosts, quote unquote, paranormal, and so on and so forth. You feel me? I should more be talking about the eighth house because you have your sun in the eighth house, so you can resonate more with eighth house energy than 12th house energy. But considering that both the eighth and the 12th house belong to the deacon of psychicism. My bad, not the deacon of psychicism, but the trinity of psychicism. So the fourth house, and I think you have. Never mind. Hold on. The fourth house, the eighth house, and the 12th house are all houses that belong to the psychic, the trinity of psychicism. You feel me? And also so do the water signs, right? Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. So the eighth house is the house that belongs to the Scorpio sign, the Scorpio energy. You feel what I'm saying? All right. So first and foremost, let's break it down like this. Let's look at where you have your sun at in the first place. Wait, my bad. Let me not get ahead of myself. So I got into the house because I was explaining how they're different departments of life. You feel me? So the eighth house, it more deals with death. It deals with other people's money. And it can also deal with like crime. Um, but the eighth house is also a house of mysticism, right? Having to deal with death, it deals with like the interaction between the living and the dead. You feel me? So the eighth house is a very psychic house, as I've com- co- continually said. It's also a house that deals with, of course, magic, black and white, of course. You feel me? Which is, but it's also a house that deals with healing, with regeneration, with healing, at the intense level. You feel what I'm saying? Ultimately, the eighth house deals also with trauma, traumatization, and thus um, being directed by life towards a path to heal and a path of healing. But that path to heal and that path of healing was invoked by pain. You feel me? You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's very much the Aries energy, as both Aries, my bad, not Aries, Mars. That's very much the Mars energy, as both Aries and the eighth house are ruled by the planet Mars. So you have your sun in these in this sign and in this house. So the sun vitalizes things, right? As you know, the sun, it brings life to things, right? Um, it brings life. So the sun, it signifies your purpose. You feel me? Your conscious mind, the things you bring the most consciousness and awareness to. It deals with what you identify with, but also what you express. You feel me? What you express what you express to others, and ultimately the things that you're comfortable being known for. So with Aries being here, Aries is a sign first and foremost that is highly courageous. You know what I'm saying? And I think this term is beautiful in this placement right here. The saying goes that courage is not acting without fear. You feel me? Like a courageous person is not per se a person that doesn't see the fear or a person that isn't afraid. But a courageous person is someone who goes on to do the things they know they need to do regardless. You feel what I'm saying? Regardless of the fear. And the eighth house is a house that deals with fears. It deals with imprisonment. You feel what I'm saying? Um, and ultimately, as you know, we're not physical beings, but we are using these as hosts. I hope as vessels, right? I should say, as conduits, right? And so, thus, before you can be imprisoned physically, your soul, your astral body, you feel me? Because it's like your astral body is a vehicle, a lighter vehicle that your soul dwells within. But then your soul utilizes your astral body to influence your physical body. And that's why the astral body, well, yeah, I was gonna say that's why the astral body looks like a star, right? The astral body is a star. We are a star. But that's aside the point. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, so you can't be imprisoned physically until you are caught spiritually. Thus, with that being said, this is the house of enemies. So Aries is a sign that deals with courage, is bravery. It's a sign that has a desire to explore. It's a sign of curiosity. Um, Aries being a fire sign doesn't per se deal with the physical world as much as earth signs and also water. I want to say water signs, but not really. Earth signs are really the only signs that are so entangled into the world and into the matrix, you feel me? But like Aries is a mental sign and its dominion is within the mental plane. You feel what I'm saying? So with you having this placement right here, Aries, Sun and Aries in the eighth house, honestly, this energy really brings me vibes of like Disney movies. Like the Maleficent, I guess. Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? Like that type of energy. Because Aries, not Aries, because the eighth house is a dark house. It's a house that is inclined to attract and pull darkness. You feel what I'm saying? Um, but then Aries is a sign that deals with like overcoming and bravery and strength. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why Maleficent comes to mind, right? Because Maleficent, when you think of her, I don't completely understand or know her background, but I know that she went through strife and struggle, and she was misunderstood, right? Misunderstanding. Aries, my bad, not Aries. The eighth house is a house that deals very much with mysteriousness, right? Being of the shadows. You feel what I'm saying? All that energy. But anyways, to conclude this up, right? Your prominence shines within the occult realm, within the, yeah, refilming within the occult realm, within the, I don't want to say like, um, I want to say the secret society, but not really. Like, I don't even know if that would make sense to say, right? But that's where you have your sun is at. You feel me? And it's in Aries, so you're a person who's very active and very involved when it comes to things that dwell deeper than just the surface, if this makes sense. Um, all right, but we'll get back into like the sun later, and we'll dive deeper into it. You feel what I'm saying? But right now I'm gonna look at all of your planets because once I have an awareness of all of your planets, then I can start to put it together and I can harmonize it, and it can start to make more sense. Where I can paint a bigger picture, right? All right, so your moon is in Pisces. Oh, I'm sorry, your moon is not in Pisces. So, I hope that you don't hear the music in the background. But anyways, so your moon is in Capricorn in the fifth house. You feel what I'm saying? And so with your moon being in Capricorn in the fifth house, well, first and foremost, the moon is debilitated in the fifth house. When it goes into the fifth house, it is in the opposite sign in which it rules. You feel what I'm saying? So your sun is exalted, right? And so it's crazy because your sun is exalted in the eighth house, and the eighth house is a house that deals with pain. It also does deal with, magic, occultism, and occultism, like, and this is not like just child's play, right? This is actually where the monsters dwell and where the trauma resides as well. You feel me? Like, um, you feel me? Like gruesome things can take place in the eighth house. Um, I also want to throw this in there. The eighth house, it also deals with other people's money. So you may either find yourself managing other people's money, or other people just may have an inclination to blessing you and bestowing you money. You feel me? Yeah, but the eighth house, it also deals with other people's money. It deals with inheritances as well, and death, as I've said repeatedly, right? We don't need to talk about that anymore. Death, 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 right? It's crazy because we're about to go into your moon, and death is still written on your moon sign, moon placement as well. And I'll get into that. Anyways, let's get into it. So your moon is in Capricorn, in the deacon. Hold on, I gotta look at my notes here. It's in the deacon of idealism. It's in the deacon of idealism, right? And it's in the Pisces Australis. You feel me? As I'm sure you know, the constellations are named differently. It's like we have, for example, the Gemini constellation, but then we have like Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, and um the dog. I forget what the dog's name is, unfortunately. Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, and some other. You feel me? So even within the stars, they're separate. But you know what I'm saying? So within the Capricorn deacon, right? The Pisces, Australis, those groups of stars that create that constellation that's also within the Capricorn constellation. Capricorn, right? It is the last Earth sign, right? It's the last Earth sign. Thus, it belongs to the last four signs. You feel what I'm saying? It goes Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, then Pisces. So Capricorn and Pisces, right? Because they're so close to each other, they share spaces. And like the Pisces, Australis, pretty sure you know where I'm going with this. Those stars that are in the Capricorn constellation dip into the Pisces constellation as well, and thus these people, Saturn, right? We gotta first talk about Saturn. 'Cause Saturn rules Capricorn. Saturn is a sign. I mean, not a sign. It's a planet that rules time. It rules the physical world. It rules the structures, the systems that we find ourselves living in. Right? Saturn deals with government. Saturn deals with the world. Saturn is a planet that's cold and dry, right? And when you think about the world, right, there's a couple songs that are out there, right? About how cold the world can be. So that's a Saturnian energy, you feel me? But Saturn also deals with death. It's a maleficent planet. It deals with illness, famine, poverty, death. Also, you feel me? So it doesn't bring life. Jupiter more bestows life and abundance and expansion, but Saturn takes it away. You feel what I'm saying? Anyways, and so with you having your moon in Capricorn in the Australis, Pisces Australis deacon. Fuck, my bad. The Pisces Australis constellation. That mythological creature. The two, I think it's a fish. I'm not so well versed on my mythology, but this is expanding my knowledge. So I use the knowledge, so it's practice for me. For what I'm saying, but definitely feel free to look into it. Ooh, no, no, no. Yo, all types of shit be happening. I swear to God. I started your reading, then I had to stop it. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, we're revealing some real energies up in this joint. Anyways, so yeah, Pisces, right? Not bad, not Pisces, Capricorn. So maleficent sign, but Saturn also deals with death. You feel what I'm saying? And so, with all that being said, the Capricorn astrology deacon, even though Capricorn is a sign that deals with practicality in the world, the Capricorn, that deacon of Capricorn specifically, um, is psychic. You feel me? You have a bridge into the physical, my bad, into the spiritual world, and you've had plethora of experiences. You can bring up of your interaction with the dead, you feel me? Or your interaction with like just spirits in general, you feel me? Energies, you feel what I'm saying? Disembodied entities and deities, you feel what I'm saying? All right, so now let's jump into Capricorn because we haven't even jumped into that. So as I was saying, when the moon goes into Capricorn, it is debilitated, right? So Capricorn deals with practicality, you feel me? Realism, being grounded into the physical world. And Capricorn is a sign, its opposite sign is Cancer, so it's Capricorn Cancer. If you know Cancer, you know Cancer is associated with moods and emotions. So it's a very sensitive and emotional sign. But being the opposite of Cancer, Capricorn doesn't like to associate itself with emotions, and it can be very military like, you know, very strict, very serious, very about business. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know, it's just it can go in so many different ways. Capricorn doesn't play, right? Like and I guess I'm over here smiling and whatnot because you let me know, you're like, listen, I don't play with me. Anyways. Yeah, so when the moon goes into Capricorn, right? So Capricorn, opposite sign Cancer, they tend to struggle with their emotions and specifically the release of emotion and yeah, the releasing of emotion. A lot of the times because Capricorn, it's okay, first and foremost, Capricorn is a feminine sign, right? Feminine, psychic, also negative, though, you feel me, magnetic, very ambitious and driven and so um hold on, because I was going somewhere else, but then I here, let me say this. So Capricorn belongs to the utility. Belongs to the utility series. You feel what I'm saying? And I didn't bring up Aries. I should have brought up its series and trend as well. So the sign Aries belongs to the egotistical, the egotism series. You feel me? So everything and anything that deals with the I am, the me, the self, the ego is Aries energy. You feel what I'm saying? But then its thought trend, you feel me, is I am. So that frequency and that energy of the I am. So whenever you're in an energy of thinking about yourself, you feel me? Your I am, you're tapping into the Aries energy, you feel me? And we'll continue to I'll be revealing all of the thought trends and series that these signs belong to, and it'll give you a better understanding of these signs, you feel me? Like Aries being I am, and Aries being belonging to the series of the ego, you know, they're known for their literal abilities, for their ability to understand their significance, to understand and know who they are, you know. They don't really go through identity crisis like that. Um, they're very anchored in their identity and they're proud, you know, they have the sense of pride in who they are and what they represent. You feel what I'm saying? This energy of no one can tell me anything. I am me, I am free, and I do as I please type energy. You feel what I'm saying? Anyways, back to the Capricorn energy though. So so with this moon in Capricorn, you would benefit from learning to be more vulnerable and learning to express your emotions more. And this is just yeah, and this is just me take it as it resonates, you feel me? Because before I make vices like that, I like to first know the whole chart because you may have some placements that invoke emotion within you. You feel what I'm saying? But anyways, let's continue. Okay, so yeah, that's your moon. It's in Capricorn in the fifth house, right? So with your moon being in Capricorn in the fifth house, the only time you're truly able to release how you feel and your emotions. And if you're in a setting where you can be free and enjoy yourself, because the fifth house is a house that deals with entertainment, pleasure, enjoyment, you feel me? Things that allow you to just get into your element and enjoy yourself. The fifth house is also a house that deals with children, right? So with you having moon in the fifth house and in the sign Capricorn, believe it or not, Capricorn is a fertile sign, and it's like it's a fruitful sign is what I'm trying to say. Is what I'm saying. Like I started getting into like right gardening and when to plant seeds for the best results. You feel me? And Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, Sagittarius, these are all fruitful signs. But then other signs are not so fruitful. Um, Anyways, with that being said, with Moon, Capricorn, fifth house. Because the fifth house is the house of offspring and children, you feel me? Your children, maybe your maybe your grandchildren as well. They also, when it comes to emotional release, they they assist you in that as well. You feel me? Assist you in that. But also with the moon in Capricorn, it's not per se emotional release, but it may be that the offsprings that you have produced into this world, they brought upon you lots of responsibility as well, and demanded that you step up to a higher level. You feel me? So because of your children, you were pushed to higher heights. You feel me? So Capricorn is a sign that deals with ambition, it deals with status, it deals with business. It deals with it's also an egotistical, it can be a selfish sign, negatively it's very deceptive, right? But positively they're diplomatic. And yeah, but anyways, yeah, you feel me? So that's like the fifth house sun energy. But yeah, because the moon is in the fifth house, so that means that where the moon's energy is being expressed the most is in that area of life that deals with entertainment. The fifth house also deals with sex, right? Sex, because okay, it's like because offsprings are associated with sex, you feel me? So it deals with your sex life, but it also deals with the offsprings that are produced as a result of you having sex. You feel what I'm saying? Um, and so the fifth house is a very sexual house. So that's you in of yourself or may find yourself to be sexual. You feel me? And also with the fifth house being in your moon, the moon is a planet that deals with what you're reacting and responding to. So you do put a lot of reaction and response energy into like your children. You feel me? And I sense that you have grandchildren as well. You feel me? Yeah, man. Yeah. So very familial. Very the fifth house is also a warm house. It's a house of creativity as well. It deals with being charitable and giving and joyful, you feel me, and childlike, right? And, yeah, you feel me? So it's a fun house as well. It's just a fun house, right? It deals with the sex life, it deals with the offsprings, it deals with entertainment, creativity, all that good stuff. And so that's where you have your moon. It's in Capricorn in the fifth house. Okay, yeah, so now let's move on. Now let's move on to your Mercury. Let's see where you have your Mercury. So your Mercury is in the Aries decan of exaltation, which is also the Eridanus, where the Eridanus constellation is. Again, I have no idea about Eridanus. I'm still learning the mythology because it's a lot, right? It's a lot to you feel what I'm saying? So in your spare time, definitely look up Eridanus. So this deacon of Aries brings way to the exaltation. You feel me? It deals with exaltation. So Mercury, well, I like this. Hold on. Before I jump into this, it's in the ninth. That's even more juicier. I love it. I love it. All right. So Aries, Eridanus, Exaltation, Deacon. Mercury, ninth house in Aries. So let's break it down. So Mercury is the planet that deals with the intellectual processes. You feel me? Your ability to logicalize, rationalize, and reason. You know, your perceptive ability, your perception on life. You know, your like how when a good example, like Mercury is considered a child, feel me? Because Mercury is your curiosity, feel me? Like the child, right? You tell the child, like, don't do this, but then sometimes the only way a child could learn that the stove is hot, right, is by touching the stove and learning for themselves. So that's what the Mercury is, right? It's our perceptions, how we receive, how we problem solve, but also how we communicate, or how we express our thoughts, all that good stuff. You feel what I'm saying? And so with you having Mercury in Aries, you have a dope processor, right? It's like the latest Intel Core processing system in your brain. All right, so what I'm trying to say with without being funny. um so Aries is a sign is that is mental. We've already covered that. Aries is cardinal fire, likened to gas that's on fire or electricity. Feel me? Because cardinal is a spark. You're not a spark. It's a force in a sense. Like when you think of cardinal, think of gas, right? So yeah, fixed. Oh crap, cardinal. Also, your moon is in cardinal. Your moon is in a cardinal sign as well. Because I always like to make it relevant when I'm explaining these different things. But anyways, fixed signs, right? That's solids. Mutable signs, that's water, liquids. And then the cardinal signs are gas, right? Gas is when matter is in its most energetic state, its most vital state. You feel what I'm saying? And yeah, 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 it's crazy, right? But anyway, so with that being said, a lot of activity is manifested within your life. This activity isn't not only prominent within the um I guess I want to like the events that you attract to yourself to experience, but also within your mind, you feel me? You have a great you're very intelligent, you're also a very curious person, you feel me? You have like this no fuck that's literally what it is. Like when the moon goes, I mean, when Mercury goes into the sign, people they become very quick-witted, they become very perceptive, you feel me? Very knowledgeable, curious as well, not afraid to look at things from more than one angle, right? Because Aries, like I said, is a sign that deals with courage and bravery. So mentally, it expresses as you're not being scared, to look at X, Y, and Z and this and that and the fourth. And so with you having it in the ninth house is the house that deals with philosophy, you feel what I'm saying? It deals with your personal beliefs. It's a house that deals with religion. It also deals with travel. You feel me? It's also a house that deals with travel, but not only physical travel, but mental travel. So like let's say you like right now, right? I'm taking you on a trip through the astral plane, in a way. Right? So it deals with mental travel, like whenever you are in deep conversation with someone, for example, and you guys travel into yeah, like that. It deals with physical travel as well, but with Mercury being here, Mercury being the sign of the mind, yeah, travel. So you are a type of person who knows how to go deep into the the deeper layers of not even the deep, yeah, the deeper layer of the subconscious mind, not even that. I'm telling you, like usually it's so fucking I don't know if you heard that, but someone just screamed outside. It's usually so chill, but like all this stuff is happening because of this reading. But anyways. Sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought, but I do recall what I was saying though. So yeah, Mercury, Aries, ninth house. All right, so yeah, it's not just deep into the subconscious mind, but the, it's a house of philosophy, right? The ninth house is the house of knowledge. So the ninth house is ruled by Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is a seer. It's a sign of sight. You feel me? Um, Sagittarius is also a philosophical sign, a teacher, which reminds me, the ninth house is a house of teaching. You feel me? So you're a prominent teacher. You feel what I'm saying? You like to teach people things, and also, um, so positively. The Aries energy expresses through assuredness, through leadership, you feel me? Through like self-conviction and self-awareness positively. The negatively Aries can the energy Aries can express through like dominance in a sense. Like that's more Leo. Leo like to dominate people, but Aries more so in the sense that they may think that their way is the only way. You know, Aries having to deal with the self. In a sense that not their way is the only way, but it's kind of an energy where like Aries will want to help someone, and that help wasn't even asked for. Like no one asked you to help me, Aries. But like the Aries just thinks that they know it better, they can do it better. You feel what I'm saying? So then like, that may be a negative expression that you may find in yourself. You feel me? I'm pretty sure you're an evolved individual. But yeah, so it's an energy where like Aries helps someone, but that help wasn't even asked for. It's like you didn't have to involve yourself with me. I should say it in a more calm tone, you feel me? But anyways, yeah, that's an Aries expression. So with Mercury being in the ninth house, you make you know what's crazy about these know-it-all placements? It's like because when you have your Mercury in the ninth house, you think you know it all. Well, you think you know a lot, right? Well, I'd rather say you think you know a lot, because the ninth house is a house of it's the lecture the scholar, right? The philosopher, um, yeah, the scholar. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah. But anyways, let's keep rolling. Let's keep seeing what this. Let's keep seeing what this is all about. Huh. Okay. So anyways, yeah. So that's your Mercury ninth house energy. You know, very you have great abilities to teach people and you know a lot, you know. So sometimes people may feel like you're a know-it-all. And I wonder if you have any you see, we can really get down to this know-it-all energy if you are or not by looking at any aspects you have to Jupiter. So but yeah, you know, with this energy, continue to study, continue to accumulate books, right? Continue to learn, but also continue to teach and spread your information and what you know, right? The Aries energy, Aries is a very expressive energy, so you already do this, right? Yeah, and it's not even retrograde. So and you have the gift of gab. You're very communicative and you're very articulate. There's also have Mercury conjunct Sun, right? Which makes a person who has an ability to express their thoughts and takes the opportunity when it's presented for them to express their thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Okay, interesting. All right. So now let's look at the next placement. Venus and Venus. Yeah, let's look at Venus. So you have Venus in the ninth house in Aries as well. So with you having Venus in the ninth house in Aries as well, you feel me? You preferably like it when the person you're interacting with, the friend, because Venus is a planet that deals with the social life. She deals with relationships, with romance, love, you know. Not I want to use the word fornication for some reason. Not fornicating, not having sex, because that's Mars. But Venus deals more with like foreplay, romance, flowers, pleasure, drinking, enjoying yourself, you know, but not like drinking by yourself like social drinking. You feel me? Venus is a social planet, so she deals with art as well. You know, like things that are social, and art in the sense that art can bring people together. Type energy. You feel what I'm saying? She's also in the planet of beauty. She sways towards the path of least resistance. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you find great pleasure in those associates who like you are also oh fuck I could have just there's a shorter way I could have broken down that sentence. But anyways, you enjoy when your company and you're attracted to company who are scholars themselves, who have occult information and who are knowledgeable. Venus being in the ninth house makes for um associations and connections overseas for people in other countries. You feel me? Because of the internet, probably thus it is possible. and probably even in real life, you have the in general ninth house Venus makes for a person who is known overseas, a person who probably travels all abound. You feel what I'm saying? You find pleasure in traveling, also in knowledge and wisdom. So Venus and Aries individuals, Venus is a feminine sign, Aries is a masculine sign. So people with their Venus and Aries, when it comes to the social affair, they're the person who will approach you or confront you. Their approach can be confrontational because they're very raw, very direct. They're like, that type of energy that's like kind of in your face a little bit. Like, hey, look at me. Nah, but like, I don't know, like they have a prominence, right? It is the deacon of Mercury. Oh, no, you have your Mercury in the deacon of exaltation. You feel me? Aries is the sign that's exalted in the sun. So thus it does draw attention to itself, you know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, so Venus and Aries energy, like your social life is pretty charged with like passion and excitement. Feel me? Like there's this synergy within your social life. You feel me? Where also you're a you're a woman, right? And you have your feminine attributes, of course, but a lot of these s- signs and energies are masculine, so you do have a masculine expression. And you are a type of woman who would approach a male, right? Probably also in your younger days, you feel me? Or just approach someone in general. Like you're very expressive, communicative, you like to express yourself. Um, and you may like to lead the group, you feel me? You may like to do things that are centered around yourself, you feel me? But the ninth house, it's not a like it's selfishness, but like not expressed. Because the ninth house is also a house that deals with higher thoughts. You feel me? Higher thoughts. So this can be like you're probably like a leader. You feel me? I forget what they call the head of a witch, for instance, right? Not a head of a witch, but like you know how like in a coven they have like their leader. You feel me? Like it's that type of energy as well because it's Aries, right? And it's Venus, right, which deals with the social life. But with this, Venus is debilitated in Aries. So both Capricorn, both the Moon and Venus are debilitated. Both of these signs are feminine contributors. They help to bring more softness into the life. Feel me? More harmony, more beauty. Um, and so thus these two being debilitated, growing up, you probably grew up under conditions where you were tomboyish, where you were inclined most likely to hang out more so with men, guys, than women. Probably also, as a lot of women say, they prefer to hang out with men over women because women are too emotional. But you having that moon in Capricorn, you don't do emotions, so that was probably one of the reasons why you found it more comforting to be around the male energy versus the female energy. You feel me? And Aries is a sexual sign, you feel me? High libido, high ass libido. So, and Aries is a curious sign as well. So you probably played both roles, possibly, maybe, right? Probably had a girlfriend at one point. But anyways, yeah, so that's the Venus and Aries energy, ninth house, you feel me? Very bold energy when it comes to social life. And it is charged, with that Aries energy, so that can play out as passion, as a motivation, as a like Aries' motivation and passion and determination also plays out as loyalty when it comes to the people they're associated with, so you have a loyal sense to the coven, right? The friends. Because when it comes to Aries, Aries is the personal self, right? So you see your friends as extensions of yourself as well. And when a friend does you dirty, you have no problem like like cutting them off, right? To not make it so gruesome. Because I felt like I had to go to a gruesome place because I'm talking about Mars and Aries. But yeah, cut them off. Like you have no problem to cut them off, and you probably have no problem, beating someone up as well. Like the Capricorn energy because it's repression. I do again, like I say, I do sense that you're an evolved individual, but on the less evolved aspect, the Capricorn, because it doesn't deal with the emotions and represses it, escapegoatism, where it's like someone comes and they're not the person who invoked those negative energies within you, but they were the scapegoats which you utilize to release that energy. That's a Capricorn expression. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let me go back. Okay. So now let's look at your Mars, right? So you have Mars in the Orion constellation, you feel me? In the Deacon of Struggle within the Taurus constellation. You feel me? So there's constellations within constellations, huh? So you have Taurus in the ninth house. My bad. You have your Mars and Taurus in the ninth house. Okay. So with you having Mars in the ninth house, your ambitions, the things that drive you, deal with philosophy, deal with a higher ideal. You feel me? You're an idealistic person, right? Even having your moon in the sign of idealism, having a desire for something to, like, it's a utopian type of energy to a hope type, a faith type energy. You feel what I'm saying? Um, but anyways, as I was saying, with with the Mars and Taurus. Okay. With the Mars and Taurus in the ninth house, you're the sort of person who you're driven and you're inspired by like the knowledge and the occult information that you know that you have. You feel me? You're the type of person that once you apply your beliefs, you feel what I'm saying? You're not the type of person who sleeps on their beliefs, but the things that you believe, the way that you see the world, right? Like because the ninth house, as we repeatedly said, is the house deals with knowledge, occult knowledge as well, right? So the information and knowledge you've accumulated, you apply it, right? Because not only Mars is the planet of execution, but Taurus um gives way to practicality. For example, in the body, Taurus rules in this case, for what we're talking about, it rules the base because it rules the throat, the tongue, and the base of the brain. You feel what I'm saying? And I think the ears as well. The base of the brain. So the base of the brain is the portion of our brain that deals with our motor system, not motor functions. You feel what I'm saying? So things that we do repetitively, right, like with our hands, these are all things that Taurus rules because it rules so Taurus rules routines, repetitiveness, and Taurus being the first earth sign in of itself is also psychic. You know what's crazy? Like all of the earth signs are psychic, but it's like they just have to awaken from the illusion of the material world. And once they see through the illusion of the material, then yeah, they tap into that spirituality for sure. That's psychicism, but Taurus is naturally psychic. So with your Mars being in Taurus in the ninth house, um, the way that you move, you don't just move physically, but you understand that you also have to move energetically and spiritually. You feel what I'm saying? You are a very occult and magical person. You feel what I'm saying? But at the same time, like with Taurus being here, you are a person who is very determined and focused, and you are a hard worker. You feel me? When it comes to working, getting your hands quote unquote dirty, you're not afraid. You feel me? You're not afraid to get up and work and invest energy into things. You're very focused and determined when it comes to wanting to finish and complete something. You feel me? Like the Aries energy it's usually curious and it's usually uh ADHD like. You feel me? But Mars being in Taurus helps ground and helps that energy of the Aries to be channeled in a means which will manifest physical fruits. You feel what I'm saying? Because Taurus is a sign that rules over money and possession and values and having that. So with Mars and Taurus, you're a person who's very driven also by being stable and being foundationally secure, and by peace and harmony. You're not a violent person. You most definitely are. You're more like your peace, but you're a person who also is well aware of the art of war, right? And even though you like to be in peace and harmony, you dare someone to try you. Aries dares someone to try them. But even the moon and like the moon in Taurus, it would rather not get into confrontation just because it's focused on its own thing and it has its own thing going on. You feel what I'm saying? But if confrontation comes, they will, and you can be fixated and stubborn as well about aggressions. You feel me? If someone does you wrong, you feel me? You may not. But then at the same time, you are a very philosophical person. So the awareness that things happen for reasoning doesn't escape you. You feel me? You're also aware of that, and you do entertain the higher, the bigger picture, the higher image of things. You feel me? All right, cool. Now let's look at Jupiter. So Jupiter, okay, you have Jupiter in the third house in the sign Scorpio. It is in the Ophiuchus, Ophiuchus, Ophiuchus. It belongs to the Ophiuchus constellation, right? So Jupiter is in the Deacon. My bad. It's in the Deacon. Yeah, let's talk about. It's in the Deacon. It's in the Deacon of resourcefulness. You feel me? And it's in Scorpio, and it's in the stars within Scorpio that are associated with the Ophiuchus. Ophiuch. Efficus. I'm just gonna say efficus, right? Okay, so that's cool. So Jupiter rules and deals with your interests first and foremost. Things that bring you joy and happiness and things that you just enjoy. But Jupiter is also a sign that deals with religion, faith, hope. It's a benefic planet and it's more like release energy. It deals with generosity, you feel me? It deals with yeah, it deals with like generosity, relief, mercy, you know. Um, so ultimately, Jupiter signifies, for lack of a better statement at this time, your religious thoughts. And when I say religious thoughts, I mean let's subtract the dogma and the indoctrination and the lies and the illusion, and let's just look at the fundamentals of religion, right? Religion is all about believing in a higher power. It's all about having morals and principles, the idea of religion, right? And it's all about having faith. And all those energies associated with religion is Jupiter. So every single different religion, like as an alchemist, right? Jupiter is associated with the metal tin. When I go out into the world, for instance, and let's say I'm associating with people that are Christians, they invite me to their church. I go, right? I'm not opposed to it. And as I'm there, I'm aware of the energy, like what the energy is, where it comes from. And of course, there is a mix of like the Saturnian energy, Saturn, Satan, right? For some reason, right? Because Saturn also deals with deception, right? But anyways, so that's what Jupiter is. So I always extract 10 from religious experiences because 10 is Jupiter. But that's what Jupiter is. It's your ability to produce hope energy, faith energy, but also in of yourself to be a godly type of individual, a generous, caring, loving person, a person filled with kindness, all those types of energy. So first and foremost, with Jupiter being in Scorpio, this type of energy, Jupiter and Scorpio in the third house. Um, well, it is in Jupiter though. So the third house deals first and foremost with the siblings, but it also deals with the environment in the neighborhood, but it also deals with the skills, right? Your skill sets. So think about it this way. Um, it deals with your environment, and your skills are limited to your environment, right? So, yeah, anyways, I'll leave it at that. But it deals with your environment, skills, the people in your environment that you associate with. That's why it also deals with your siblings, because your siblings they happen to be earlier on, right? They happen to be in your environment, and thus you happen to be associated with them. So yeah. So first and foremost, with Jupiter being in Scorpio in the third house, let's talk about the skills aspect of things. Jupiter in Scorpio. Jupiter expands. So Jupiter is expanding Scorpio. Scorpio deals with mysticism. You feel me? Scorpio deals with mysticism, psychicism, sensitivity, being aware of things like you feel me, like scanning and recognizing energy, it's all that type of things. Then Scorpio also deals with healing, rejuvenation, and regeneration, right? Scorpio, it rules the sex organs, and with Jupiter being here in the sex organs, you feel me? There is a great sense of pleasure, you feel what I'm saying, that comes from like sex. This great sense of like happiness and pleasure, and this awareness also that sex is not really gross, it's not material, it's not physical, but this exaltation of sex, right? Where there's this awareness of the religious aspects of sex, right? Because right, tantra, X, Y, and Z, but it's deeper than tantra, right? There's certain beliefs and perceptions that utilize sex to worship the divine, to worship God, because of the bliss and the heavenly states of emotion and the states of being you tap into through sex. You feel what I'm saying? So because Scorpio rules the sex organs. So Jupiter is sending all of this energy to sex organs. You feel what I'm saying? All of this energy to sex organs. So yeah, that becomes prominent, but also being a person who is very psychic and right when you think about the womb, it very much is a portal, right? Like the sex organs, right? Yeah. Anyways, the womb specifically is a portal, right? So Scorpio deals with the unseen world. You feel me? Scorpio deals with like it deals with regeneration. I was gonna say gestation, but it more deals with regeneration. Like Cancer is more gestation. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah. Anyways, that's like that's the Jupiter and that's the Jupiter and Scorpio and Pisces energy. You feel me? Um, and so hold on, my bad. I already told you what Aries' thought trend and Sirius is. I forgot to mention Taurus. So Taurus thought trend is I have, right? And your Mars is Taurus. So you are also very driven by having things. And Taurus belongs to the series um possession, accumulation, possession. You feel me? So you are very driven by having things and accumulating things. We already talked about that. Just bringing it back so I can also talk about the you feel what I'm saying? I hope you do. Okay, and so um with Scorpio, um obsession. Hold on. I'm not even sure. So, so, honestly, it's not really coming clear to me. I do know that Scorpio's associated thought trend is I desire, and then when it comes to its acquisition, yeah, that's what it is. And then when it comes to its series, I believe that it's acquisition. You feel me? So acquiring. You feel me? So keep in mind, Taurus and Scorpio are opposite signs. Taurus is possession, having, I have. Scorpio is I desire, acquirization, acquiring something. You feel me? So with that being said, that's why I can break this energy is um Jupiter and Scorpio, third house. Yeah, like first and foremost, like your faith does look dark. You feel what I'm saying? It can look dark or misunderstood. You feel me? Um, yeah. But like a desire to want to acquire something also can bring you faith. You feel what I'm saying? With Scorpio being here, like right? A desire to want to have something but not having it. For some people, it can play out as hardship, but for you, it plays out as it pushes you and it drives you even more to want to have it, especially with the the unisons between the Pisces, my bad, not the Pisces, the unisons between the Mars and Taurus, which is driving you ambitiously to acquire things, materialistically to have things. But in Scorpio, it's more pushing you to desire things, you feel me? And so thus emotions also become of an interest, learning how to work with your emotions. And yes, of course, in the setting of magic, because that's what magic is, right? Efficiently channeling your emotions correctly, you feel what I'm saying? All right, now let's look at your Saturn. And okay, yeah, Saturn. So you have Saturn in Taurus in the ninth house as well. So Saturn is in Taurus in the ninth house, and it's in the Lepus constellation, right? So Lepus is another mythological creature, Greek. Um, and so it's an deacon of determination. So with Saturn being in Taurus, this is an indication that you have a good foundation. You feel me? You have an ability to create a great, like, you have a good foundation for yourself. Even growing up, the odds of you having a good foundation were there. You feel me? Like with Moon being in Capricorn, for instance, it's an indication that the extremes can be that you grew up in poverty, but with like all of your other energies, I can tell that likeliness is that you grew up in a family where you guys weren't emotionally connected. Like the emotional nurturingness may have been terrible, but there were material comforts and you were set materialistically. Or it can play out that you grew up with nothing and yeah, you grew up, but yeah, it can play out either way that you grew up materialistically speaking, you feel me? But like, cause with the cat, with the moon, with the cat, with the Saturn Capricorn energy, right? It's like even if you don't have it, the reason why you are incarnated into a world where poverty is so highlighted in your life and the material world is so highlighted in your life is because certain thoughts within your mind have a desire to have material prosperity and abundance. You feel me, right? Because it's like certain people have thought trends because of their astrological configurations that makes them unconsiderate of the material things. They're happy and they don't care that they're poor. That doesn't even cross their mind. But then other people, right? 'Cause Saturn brings that to your awareness. It makes you pay attention to like this. But Saturn also makes you pay attention to how like you're worthless. Because it's a maleficent planet. It deals with doubt, fear, selfishness as well, being self-centered and self-anchored. So these are all Saturnian themes, you feel what I'm saying? But anyway, Saturn and Taurus in the ninth house. Saturn and Taurus in the ninth house. Fortunately, with Saturn in the ninth house, this can be that okay, so I'm gonna explain like this. This is a positive. If it was in Scorpio, it could definitely have been so. It could have played out as certain restrictions and limitations were imposed upon you growing up through religion. You feel me? It's always growing up, especially when we're talking about Saturn and the Moon, because first and foremost, Saturn and the Moon are feminine planets. They're magnetic. They attract into your life. You feel me? Meanwhile, Mars, so the Moon, Venus, and Saturn are magnetic and they draw things to your life. So the moon is your home life, domestic life, right? The people you find yourself having emotional connections with. You don't have control of who you love, right? Then we have Venus, which is your social life, your friends, right? Venus also deals with your emotions and your feelings. So the people you love, again, Venus, right? You attract them. And then Saturn is the like Saturn can be remedied through Mercury, but Saturn is like your material experiences. You feel me? Like being born into a place, is it stable or is it unstable? You feel what I'm saying? All that energy, that's Saturn. Like, did you have money? Did you have a good foundation? Like, these are things you can attract to yourself. Like, even jobs, like, sure, to an extent, you do have, it's like But yeah, anyway, this is what Saturn is. It deals with like your foundation, the physical world, your heart, your luck in work, or you feel me, all those things. So with you having Saturn and Taurus, this type of energy is like again, right? The determination aspect is there again. You have a infatual, a desire with material things, a desire to want to have material things. But like Saturn, Taurus is also a magical sign, a sign. You feel me? So again, with this Taurus and the ninth house energy, it makes you a person who like you're serious about your beliefs and like they're real to you. You feel me? And it's something that your perception and your compartmentalization of life, the way you've compartmentalized life, and the way that you decided the way that things are very much submerged with occult knowledge and religion and that belief and those thoughts. You feel me? Um, yeah. Um, and you're also a type of person who, like, materialistically, you're set. And yes, like, it is important that you have material things that are of value. But you do also, because the ninth house, right, it's philosophy and religion, your values are also principles and morals and knowledge and wisdom. These are things that you truly value, and hold close to your heart. You feel me? Because Taurus possession, as we discussed. So I will also be just real quick, right? Look, I'll be telling you your other placements. So we're not gonna go deep into um like Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Not today. Later we will. But so you have um Neptune, the planet that deals with utopian thoughts or illusions, fantasies, utopian in the sense of like a utopian world, right? That's Neptune, and it deals with your imagination and things like that. And we'll dive deeper into that later. Uranus, so you have Uranus in Sagittarius in the fourth house. My bad, you have Neptune in Sagittarius in the fourth house. And then you have Uranus in Libra in the second house. And then you have Pluto in Virgo in the second house. We'll discuss these things as well. But this concludes the first session, right? The first session of your reading. So I also want to say this with you. Um, never mind. It's just really a personal thought I'm gonna share. Um, I've been like utilizing these readings to attain a maturity in my reading ability. You feel what I'm saying? Like get better at it. And this reading right here, I feel like I finally mastered, you feel what I'm saying? Like my awareness of my reading, if this makes sense. And that's why you caught me at a time when you got such an amazing deal. I'm telling you, it's such an amazing deal. But I'm happy to do it for you, even though I'm giving a lot of energy, I'm happy to do it because of the experiences it's providing me. All right, peace.